cool. Tell you when I go to cash in the block. What you think we hustling for? When I if there's no money involved, you can miss me. Never seen a rapper this mean. On my 16, it's on so.
I am conscious of my starting point.
You reach your peak and quote unquote fall off or whatever, and then have another peak and have another peak.
With that being said, we're gonna go into the biggest song in the fucking country.
Actively still being an artist and trying to push artists doesn't really go all the way well.
When we talk about izinja ze-game, this is the dog of the game.
Through the ages, through generations, through decades. Yo. I mean, we're not even playing here.
Mr. CashTime KO, super duper in the building.
Bless.
KO was born in Teargas Mdluli in Piet Retief in Mpumalanga in 1980. He is the son of Thembisile Mdluli and Jabulani Mdluli. He completed his matric and went to Vaal University of Technology, where he studied a national diploma in public relations management.
Yeah, so my name is my real name, birth name, Ndogozo. It's my first name, and my surname is Mdluli. I was born in Soweto because my mom actually was working as a nurse. Yeah. But home is in Mpumalanga, small town called Piet Retief. I moved around a lot before they settled there. As a matter of fact, so there was my dad and my mom used to work at a hospital called in KZN called Ike Juba Hospital, right? Like this is like, you feel me, like rural, you feel me? So back then, that's where we used to reside as a family. And after that, we moved to another town in Mpumalanga called Ermelo. That's where I matriculated. And then after that, my parents moved to Piet Retief, which is where my dad comes from. So as soon as my dad's mom passed on, so he felt the need to go and take care of his mom's house. So we actually, the house where we're living now, was his mom's house.
While at Vaal University of Technology, Mdluli met his bandmates Easy Mai Hanabe and Bantu Ntugza Hanabe. He completed his studies and graduated with Public Relations Management National Diploma from Vaal University of Technology. Initially, he struggled to find employment. According to a Sowetan article, he spent 2 years unemployed before his mother sent his CV to the South African Police Service. But he never followed up. I was trying to make demos with funding from my parents, and they believed in my dream, but I eventually started giving up. My mother sent my CV to SAPS, but I didn't go for the interview. The day of the interview, I knew I was struggling, but I couldn't go through with it. KO was quoted in the Sowetan. He went on to work in his field of his studies with a dream of becoming a rapper. In 2005, while employed in the public relations, KO and brothers from Soweto, Mai and Ntugza, then decided to form a hip-hop group called Teargas.
So before Teargas, I was a solo artist.
Okay.
And then I got with my brothers, and I took comfort in being in a group because I realized quickly that shit, I don't think I'm that nigga. Yeah. You know, because it felt more comforting being in a group structure.
Not to have to do the whole record yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I took comfort in that.
In 2006, Teargas released their debut album, Ikshubile Bovu. The album was a smash hit and a runaway success. The 15-track album featured a timeless smash hit titled Chance. So Chance is a hip-hop song about a township gangster seeking redemption and was reminiscent of early days of Kwaito. And in 2008, Teargas released their second studio album titled Wafa Wafa. In the 16-track album, the group worked with Bongo Riots, the two songs Champions and Sunshine. In 2006, they released their third studio album titled Darker Blue. In the 13-track album, Teargas collaborated with Tamasha, DJ Dira, Hip Hop Banzola, Pro. It's just a lot of legends like Danny K as well on a song called Tender Love and Care. It's just a classic album, you get the point. And in 2012, Teargas released their fourth, final studio album called Namba Namba. On the 15-track album, they worked as Two-Face on a song called Turning Tables, Lily Million on a song called Forgive Me, Tour de Lazy on Paradise, and Zion on Put You On.
Problem, I'm working these bars, do this a bombing.
The first time I did a solo feature, it was
not El Tito.
No, it was Jabba, WHP, rest in peace. It was a song called Ritwachule on one of the albums over there. And this was like Eddie's peak and stuff. So the fact that he actually, that was the first guy that called me directly. I was, yo, I see what you niggas is doing. Y'all nice. And I'm a fan. But I want to have you on the feature. I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, so that put the, the battery on my back.
Yeah.
Cool. Boom. Killed that. And the next thing I knew, a year later, Tito gives me the same call.
Yeah.
Right? And then We Rolling is going crazy.
Classic.
Right? So
shout out to El Tito.
Yes, sir. That's my guy.
Classic. Yeah.
And then the OG that we were signed to at Electromode, Chris Galakis, he says, yo, and this is obviously now at the height of Darker Blue and everything is happening, and then We're Rolling is happening at the same time. So, and then he's like, you know what? I think it's time for you to actually start thinking about a solo project. I'm like, that's never gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it goes back to what? When I'm straight, I know I need to make sure the homies is good at the same time. You know what I mean? It was never about me.
Yeah.
You feel me? So 2012, we are working on now Number. And then there were times where while we recording, we have a session, and we get to the studio and we're getting kicked out because Dukes booked the studio before us. Like, wait, so what's going on? It's like, no, this is my session. So
he was going on a solo project.
Yeah,
already.
he was building his mixtape. Right? I'm like, dang.
Who on the studio?
Electro Mode. Yeah.
So you guys were not aware that Teargas was already working on his own solo project?
Well, I mean, he had mentioned it that he actually wants to do that, and we were supportive of it. But like now, here's a time where we are actually working on the Teargas project.
Yeah.
But he ended up, would actually building. He was building that his tape in parallel with this Teargas album.
Yeah.
So and. Cool. It was no problem, but at the same time, it also just felt like, okay, cool. Dude feels like he's comfortable enough to jump off the porch and go out there and be a solo artist, and that is great. We're gonna support it. I still, even at that time, didn't feel like I needed to.
Yeah.
I still didn't feel like I needed to match that energy because outside of just me being true to the team, I also just wasn't confident enough. To say, do you think people are actually even interested in just hearing me or like
you by yourself?
You know what I mean? Or being on stage without these guys? That is impossible.
And this already after you did a feature with Tito, WHP,
God's Wall, and then, you know what I mean? And I'd kill all these verses. The appetite was already there. You know what I mean? 100%. I would see the calls on social media as well, like, yo, can't wait for you to do some solo-ish and this, that, and the third, right? But I still I was playing the team game the whole way. But when homie decided to take the plunge and, do his solo thing, it almost kind of also, instilled some level of confidence to say, damn, so if there's an actual calling for me to do this and homie's doing it, I might fuck around and look like a bitch in this. You know what I mean? So maybe let me pull my act together and also try something at it as well. And then that's how Mission Statement came about.
When it comes to business and I'm doing my own thing. I've always collaborated with KO since Teargas times.
Of course.
We had good energy with him he decided to do his own thing.
In 2013, KO joined forces with Teargas bandmate Mai and music and marketing executive Thabiso Kati to form an entertainment company called CashTime Life.
Yeah, as far as the family is concerned and like making music together, we're definitely gonna be working on something that people can just get to see all of us shining on one record. One of those posse cuts, as they call it. So yeah, be on the lookout for that pretty soon.
KO then became this movement's first artist. This was followed by the release of his first official single of KO's first solo album, Mission Statement. This song became a critical success and enjoyed massive airplay across South Africa. And in 2014, KO was featured on AKA's hit single Run Josie. The verse by KO would go down as one of the greatest verses of SA hip-hop history. In March 2014, he released the second official single of his first album, Kara Kara, and it went on to even bigger success, reaching 1 million views on YouTube, and it would break the record for most views of a South African hip-hop video at the time.
Kid X, KO, my gents, what's the concept? We in the hood.
Yeah. Hey man, we just trying to keep it easy and trying to keep it as original and as classy as possible. We didn't want to go too glamorous with extra hot chicks and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's just another day, classy. It's just people just chilling, partying and do, the day to day. You feel me?
Kara Kara would then become the first SA hip-hop song to win Record of the Year at the annual South African Music Awards. Kara Kara was also nominated for the Best Hit Single, Best Collaboration, and Best Music Video at the 14th Annual Metro FM Awards. KO later released Son of a Gun, a third official single for his first album titled Skhanda Republic. In November 2014, KO's first solo album Skhanda Republic was released, and the 11-track album featured Kid X on Kara Kara, and I hope it's safe to say Nandi Bantwini on Skhanda Love, Mai, Mugs and Masandi on One Time, and Skhanda Republic would go on to win 3 summer awards, including the Rap Album of the Year. Skhanda Republic was also nominated for Best Hip Hop Album and Best Male Album at the 14th Annual Metro FM Awards. Now, I feel like it's safe to say that this is a classic album in South Africa, bro.
Dropped, last year, it's been getting a great reception. How are you doing with regards to the album generally? How's that going?
Well, tell you one thing, looks like the market has responded quite positively since the album came out. I think for the past month we've been fluctuating between number 2 and number 3 on the music chart, selling local product. This week we're number 2 again, so I mean the only people that are really busting our asses are the Soil in them. They crazy, those folks. Shout outs, man, to the Soil. So I mean, from that perspective, I can say the album was well received. We're still gonna push, more singles from the album to try and promote it, try and move those numbers even more. So I mean, if anything, probably if all goes well, probably by end of the year, we'll be sitting at least platinum. You understand me? Because right now the numbers are suggesting that we're probably gonna go gold in a couple of weeks. So I mean, I think this new single is gonna propel the sales as well. It's kind of love with Nandi. Because of purely just of the video. Because I think what we did out there, and the song, of course, itself is quite remarkable. So
you think how's the merchandising going? I mean, you guys have been out there in the streets, man.
The tea has actually been doing pretty well on the streets. It's only been available at 2 stores, Shesha stores. There's one in Rosebank, one at the Glen, one in Pretoria. I think they have another one in Cape Town.
KO also won the MTV-based MC of the Year in 2014, but we all know what happened after he won that, right?
Your music is kinda average, my niggas above the bar. I'm cool with number 2 cause I'm richer than number 1.
In May 2014, KO lost a significant amount of weight. social media rumors appeared that KO was HIV positive. But South Africa's going to eat. What's wrong with us in South Africa? His manager Thabiso Kati denied those rumors, stating that KO had undergone a strict diet plan and was exercising regularly. I mean, South Africans are not used to the fact that you're becoming a brand now, you're becoming an image. You go straight into HIV and AIDS. Yeah. KO later released a statement regarding his health and posted a picture of his blood test results on his Twitter and Instagram page, bruh, showing that he's not HIV positive, because you guys are out there saying that he's HIV positive and he's not.
One of the reasons why CashTime ended up, playing out the way that it did is because I had to make business choices over friendship.
Did you sign most of those artists based off them being talented or more of a business move?
It was a business move and obviously talent.
Okay.
Right? And also there was friendship involved. So it's 3 layers.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Okay.
So that's how it was built. And then suddenly, because obviously there is now, I had a business partner who was my manager at the time.
Yeah.
Scholar. Hip-hop scholar.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And he was just the one guy that was just cracking the whip and making sure that we are all on the straight and narrow. So there was some staunch decisions that had to be made, and I mean, if me and you are like OG friends and whatnot, and then suddenly now Banks is my business partner, and then there's certain decisions that have to be made just for the sake of the business.
Yeah.
And then now you have to take the L. Suddenly now you're looking at me like a bitch. You're like, oh shit, this nigga switched up. Niggas blew up and switched up on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was those kind of moments that I had to take, decisions like that I had to take, that we had to make, because just for the betterment of the business. And being that the foundation of the entire thing was mostly friendship. Suddenly, that's the thing when they say don't get into business with friends, because once business starts actually taking full its place, a lot of people get left on the waistline.
In July 2017, Ntokozo signed a partnership and distribution with Sony Entertainment. He announced a single, and his new album was coming up later that same year. He released his single No Feelings on the 21st of July, and song production was handled by Hilton Brooker and Gemini Major. The song was certified platinum by Risa with sales over 25,000 copies. His single Don Dada featuring OK Malum Cool Cat then dropped on 14th of October, and you just had to be the right age to understand what we were going through when this song came out. Like, you had to be around, bro. You can't listen to it in 2024 and you trying to go back. No.
New adventures, KO has released his much-anticipated album, Skhanda Republic 2. The album is packed with 12 tracks, which include leading singles such as Pretty Young Thing, No Feelings, and Call Me. In this offering, he brings a solid and a few featured artists such as Black Coffee, Shekinah, and Runtown. The production also brings on massive and fresh names to the scene. He's worked with Afro Traction, Black Coffee, The Gobs, and more behind the scenes to put together this solid project.
Ntokozo went on to drop his second sophomore album, Skhanda Republic, and in March 2019 his single Super Duper was released as his album's lead single. The song was certified 2 times gold by Risa with sales over 20,000 copies. Say You Will was released as the second single. He went on to follow up this with his third solo album in the year of 2019, and also Super Duper is the only South African hip-hop song to receive a gold plaque in the year of 2019.
When I was putting the album together, I wanted to put together a body of work that almost comes across as like, when you're listening to someone's greatest hits or like the best of, and then they put like a collection of like all the big songs. But like I wanted to do it with new material. So sonically, when you listen to the album, it sounds like every record on there could be a potential single, right? So that is one, a business, cap that I was wearing the entire time when I was working on those records. And also, for me, just transcending the music space. It's also being fully just immersing myself into the entrepreneur and probably mogul that I aspire to be. That anything that I put my hands on, you know, needs to turn into, there needs to be a gain from it.
I'm gonna continue being me, nigga. Like, I'm gonna continue being the man that I'm supposed to be. If you're not pulling your own weight, or if you're not throwing your hat in the ring and saying, yo, fuck that old nigga, we over here. If you're not doing that, if you're not claiming your seat at the fucking table, no one's gonna give it to you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's me and the homies. We are pretty much, Skhanda is a collective of just like young, like-minded, individuals. We are entrepreneurs. We're into fashion. We are obviously artists. And yeah, man, we are just all about presenting opportunities to the next generation.
You've always been you've always moved like a corporation and not an artist, you know? So the public relations definitely does come in there. How easy is it for you to get an A6 on the line? How do these relationships happen? The Skhanda world, how does it happen? Is it a reliance on what you've done and you wait for people to call you? Or is it are you still proactive in picking up the phone and sending the emails?
You have to proactively, be on the prowl for all kinds of opportunities. I mean, we've knocked on different doors. You knock on 100 doors, one opens.
Showcase.
But that one leads to another, and that's just how it actually works out in this game, you know? For instance, the ASICS door that came through an extension, an extended relationship, and the guy, just because he just fucked with the energy, like when we met him, and when he came across Essex and they were talking about they're trying to get into, the lifestyle space, top of mind. You feel me? Like, oh shit, I fuck with these guys. Yeah, I know XYZ, but I fuck with these guys. Yo, there's something like this. Boom, and we pull up, we presented ourselves, like professionals, and then it was done right there and there.
In September 2021, he announced his upcoming fourth album, Skhanda Republic 3, and released Playback on October 15th, 2021. The second single, Emoyeni, was released on March 25, 2022. The latter is followed up by a freestyle titled Skhandaville Freestyle on July 25, 2022 as a first single to the upcoming album and as a follow-up to the No Fear freestyle. In August 2022, KO released his biggest hit yet after Karakara, which features Young Stunner and Blackie, named Sete. The single has already been certified double platinum by RISA and is marked as the fastest gold single in SA streaming history. The music video was released on the 1st of September and it was certified platinum in 16 days by RISA.
Number one. Yeah. Spotify, yeah. Apple Music, iTunes,
You see history, records broken, it's crazy. Boys still out here doing big things. And speaking of big things, we are at Sway, my new store. Make sure you guys pull up for some ice cream smoothies and some drip, of course. And be fly like me.
On the 20th of August 2022, rapper Big Zulu released a diss track aimed at KO and other renowned South African rappers. KO then dropped on the 22nd of August. The song was titled Omega.
Grab the bull by the horns,
So the tracklist and art cover to his next album was unveiled on Instagram, including the names of features like Java, Msaki, Zuma, Babi Cooper, and Sakodi. And funny enough, Playback and Emoyeni have not been listed in the tracklist. But anyway, the album debuted at #1 on Spotify Weekly Top Albums SA charts and certified platinum by the Recording Industry of South Africa. It became the first album by a South African hip-hop artist to debut at #1 on this list.
Like, this was light work, bro. Like,
Yeah?
getting that album off, to me, was probably the easiest, compared to all the previous projects that I've put together, because, I mean, firstly, knowing that I had Lunatic, Lunatic beats, at my disposal, I knew, like, that was a cheat code already, so, because there's just something that the homie is able to inspire, out of me with just the aesthetic and the energy of his beats. So he is a huge component in just the sonics that come with KO talent. When he's not in the mix, you can also feel, okay, cool, so he's in a different, KO sounds different from what I normally know him for. But when he's in the mix, when it's almost like Batman and Robin, bro. Like, knowing that he's in the shadows, when I do my thing, I feel like, I can just walk on water type of thing.
So the Skhanda God sound, the Skhanda sound, is you and Lunatic together.
On the 2nd of February 2023, KO announced the release of a song which was released later on that day. The track takes shots at Amapiano artist Lady Do, who predicted that Sete would not get certified gold, which then became platinum and is almost diamond today. And I just have one thing to say to you, my sister. Like, first of all, for very uncultured people like you who decide to come to our community of hip-hop and decide to disrespect the hip-hop community and say that one of the biggest hip-hop artists ever to touch down in South Africa cannot achieve a gold status, and to claim that your 15 minutes of fame on Umlando, or 15 seconds of fame actually on Umlando, is way more impactful than KO's career. Leave hip-hop aside, KO is a South African legend. Can you say the same for yourself? Please, my sister. Like, let's not disrespect the culture. Let's not disrespect the movement. Let's not, most of all, disrespect KO, because he has lasted in so many generations. He's even lasting in your Amapiano generation. So, please, my sister, don't do that again. But this song wasn't only about a very uncultured creature. It was also about the former bandmate Teargas, who was also mentioned. The Sete hitmaker addressed the fact that there would never, ever, 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 ever be a reunion of Teargas. Despite Sete being Song of the Year on many music platforms, Ukhozi FM never awarded it, and that matter was unveiled in the song.
Oh, the Gold's crib. Location is, we are at the Gold's crib. How you feeling? You look distraught.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pressure. Nerve-wracking.
We'll see you guys at the show.
How can I leave it when I love it this much?
No, this is the podcast. We're having some scene. You going in what? Scene?
Zero and two from Jersey. Zero and two.
Is KO a failure with the label level?
No. I think his students have failed.
Okay, wait. That's a strong take.
He won't go down in history as a GOAT he does with his music. That's what I'm saying.
Actively still being an artist and trying to push artists doesn't really go all the way well. Do you guys know what it takes to sacrifice your own bread from your pockets to put it into a human who could fail potentially?
Running a label is not a child's play.
Gambling with hundreds of thousands also.
That is real money he can go down the drain.
Yeah, he lives in the north. He wears.
Bro, he's got a family. You don't think he's got a family?
He's got 5 whips. He's got his own life now.
He could be using these rags to maybe put cousins or nephews into college.
I'm sad to see it go. I still got the niggas. And I just want to say to the niggas, that's his closing speech. This man, he says.
bangayisusa ngiso